start my audio recording. Just in case. Do the visuals.
Okay. I've got myself recorded, both parts.
He's recording as well. As well.
Cool. Alright. So, in case I just smush a really short episode, or something, this is Evil Guacamole Gaming. Who knows how this is going to be edited? Not me. That's Editor Brad's problem. Good luck, you sorry son of a bitch.
Save Editor Brad 2017.
Seriously, save Editor Brad 2K17, hashtag it, make it trend. Get it trending.
Start a charity stream for it.
I totally will.
No, Editor Brad will have to edit it, that's true. Because if it's like the other charity stream, I'll be the only one to remember to record.
Listen.
Alright.
I had it set up. Twitch freaking it bamboozled me.
Bamboozled, indeed. Okay.
Anyway.
Daffodil, as it transpired, was not nearly as welcoming as Madeline. Maybe it was because she had just been woken.
You're damn
but
right.
The traveler was more inclined to be believed. Daffodil was a disagreeable girl by nature. The traveler is kind of judgmental.
Just a little. But I mean,
there
she
was
is kind of
something
scowly.
about her face that seemed to say without words, I am thoroughly unlikable.
Oh,
Maybe it's
I
because she's
see how it
scowling at
is.
you.
Maybe it was the frown and my expectation that women should smile. Not even the nun's garb could dampen this impression the traveler had of her.
But what about those titties? Oh god.
Get your smoke on.
This is the traveler I told you about, Daffodil. They're to stay in this church overnight to rest and recuperate.
Unless I choose to leave and die.
Oh, we already did that arc.
Not that I'd do that. That'd be dumb.
That they decided to do a different option this time. I don't know if I trust them. They're a complete stranger.
That may be the case, but isn't it our duty to care for our neighbors, even those who may come from foreign lands?
But isn't it our duty to also look after ourselves so we can continue to serve the community? For all we know, this traveler could be a wanted criminal, a serial killer. Just imagine.
Well, your country should have built some walls, I guess.
Wow, that came out of... Wow. Yeah, maybe you need to leave.
That's right,
I
leave.
think you should leave.
Go get yourself killed again.
I don't think they're a serial killer. They're just really bad with their finances and property management, and they make a lot of fake colleges.
They also seem to have a pretty poor sense of time.
Yeah, it's like midnight. We don't know why you're here. Why are we awake? You aren't a serial killer, are you?
Like a real serial killer would admit to it, idiot.
Well, if I was about to kill you, I'd admit it.
Is that a threat?
The-
You want to start something?
Now, don't fight, you two.
I feel like he may be completely dislikable. And as such, I would not want to fight with you.
There's no bloodshed in this church.
Not yet. Not with that attitude.
See this hair? It's stained with the blood of my enemies.
Oh my god!
Where is this going? The traveler was inclined to agree with Daffodil, but let the comment slide. Kind of. I wasn't a serial killer the last time I checked. I think you had to get up to 4 for that?
Checked. 15 years ago, I bet?
But I might change my mind when I get a hold of that goblin. I might just decide to kill it and then more goblins.
You were
as it
traveling
were.
with a goblin?
Well, that explains a lot.
For a few hours, yes.
Then that settles it. We can't trust this person, Madeline. Nobody who travels with goblins can be reputable.
Oh, look who's Judgy McJudgy.
Daffodil, don't be so prejudiced. There's nothing wrong with goblins. My mother was a goblin.
Oh, well, that
That
explains
explains
your
a lot.
voice.
That's why I'm so tall.
They're cheaters and swindlers, and they don't hesitate to stab people in the back if they can make a few gold coins.
They're supposed to be halflings.
For all we know, this traveler...
What's again Daffodil making the wall argument?
Jesus.
Daffodil
Quotation marks.
made quotation marks with her fingers.
could be a goblin themselves. We don't know what they look like.
Yes, I did wonder about that. You should take your cloak off. It is drenched with rain, and you'll get sick.
Well, I've met a few nuns, and I know how this is. I've seen I've seen Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
You met those nuns specifically.
The traveler
Go on.
faltered.
We're waiting.
Though their hood was heavy with rainwater, they had not even considered removing it.
Yeah, talk about rude.
They could not.
Twist!
If it is all the same to you, I will continue to talk like the narrator instead of the traveler. I would prefer to keep my cloak on. I am sensitive to the light.
But it's dark in here.
The light.
Not dark enough. I might get a rash. I have sensitive skin.
This is all very suspicious. Forgive me if I don't trust you instantly.
I'm not expecting you to. I never asked you to trust me. I was rather surprised that Miss Madeline.
Just Madeline is fine.
Their mouths look really
That
weird.
Madeline was so accommodating. I didn't expect it.
Madeline is like that. She's far too nice for her own good. She takes in all the mongrels that turn up at her doorstep, and I'm the one who has to clean up after.
Ow!
Daffodil prodded Madeline in the side with her elbow.
Do you remember that time you insisted that we take in this...
Oh, sorry, that was your line. Blech.
That's okay. Do you remember that time you insisted that we take in this old beggar asking for bread, only for him to steal our bronze candlesticks?
Well, at least we helped the poor man. His clothes were ragged, and he was so very thin. I hope the candlesticks were of use to him, and he sold them for food and lodgings, and not narcotics.
Oh gosh, this reminds me of... I used to work at a church for like about years, and one of the things I did there was run the food bank, which could be a really frustrating thing when you give food to a family you think you're helping, and then you walk out and you see them selling that food on the corner.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
That happens quite often.
Like, I like to think maybe they're okay on food and they're gonna sell that for rent or something, but that's very optimistic thinking.
Yeah, I mean, it's not simple. Like, ultimately, the food bank type thing is not our end goal solution for poverty, and it's at best
it's a bandage on a
over
gaping wound.
Yeah. That whole, like, charity can do it. Nope, we need a system made by the government, like every other country that isn't, a trash heap.
Yep.
Nope, we wanted trash heap and walls. Way to go, Daffodil.
And, just freaking sweeping them out from under the freeways and forcing them to constantly relocate with the idea that we're going to put them in places, but they don't stay there. Because they don't want to be there. Because they have to stay, clean and on the up and up in order to stay there.
Well, I mean, also those are places that are rife with violence and
Yep.
Yeah, like, they're not safe, the smart cities have figured out if you give homeless people homes, they're no longer homeless.
Wait, what?
And it's worked out really well.
What?
I mean, Seattle does that, actually. Like, they recently just swept out, like, a bunch of homeless camps that had developed over the winter, and apparently, like, when they did that, they were basically, like, trying to relocate the homeless people into basically homeless housing, but I question how well those are monitored, first of all, and second of all, there's probably a very good reason why a lot of them were unable to take it and not just couldn't take it or didn't take it.
Well,
and that doesn't solve
the best
problem.
programs also are coupled with mental health counseling, because that's usually what is the reason why people end up being homeless, is because they can't function well enough in society, and so then they meek out existence in weird crevices of our society, and then they're all painful blight. We can't possibly blah 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 blah.
And then they end up standing in the middle of the road in front of a bunch of, like, skyscrapers with a knife out, and the police are freaking out about it and blocking off, like, the entire block, because that's what happened at my workplace.
Oh, wow.
We were up in the tower, and, like, all of a sudden we get an announcement over the intercom that the building is currently in a lockdown and for everybody to stay out of the lobby. And then we found out, there's a guy who is a manic depressive and currently in a manic episode who has a knife and, like, is threatening to kill himself in the middle of the road. And, like,
as
whole
someone
big spiel.
As someone who is fortunate enough to be both bipolar and properly medicated, I have empathy there, because like, if it wasn't for that, I'm aware that that'd be me. Like, I'm much more depressive heavy. I'm basically as far on that end as you can without with it not, while it's still being bipolar, but it definitely still is, and there's still those moments, and, like, I've done some really fucking stupid stuff in those types of moments in my life.
Yeah, that tends to happen.
Yeah. So,
anyway,
like,
Daffodil rolled her eyes.
Yes, she sure did.
But we should drop this up if we can.
Yes. Okay. Actually, that's a good point to skedaddle, since we took you over your allotted time by 5 minutes. So,
Yep.
So yes, we'll be saying farewell once again. This This is Evil Guacamole Gaming. I am the Devil's Avocado, and I've been joined by...
Lay fillet.
And Coco.
Bye-bye.
It's always best to have your wingmen be ace pilots.
Oh.
Wow!
I can see
These
this is going to
jokes.
be a thing.
This is gonna be a
Yeah.
thing now.
I mean, unless you don't want it to be a thing.
No.
But, like...
Coco,
Okay.
did he make this many, like, ace jokes when it was you and Maggie because Maggie was Arrow? Did he make a lot of Arrow ace jokes?
No. No.
No,
Okay. Cool.
because...
Or special.
I don't
Just needs to
know.
get a queen.
I just... No, honestly, this is all spurred out of, like, just... At the beginning of the show, just randomly thinking about it. And then now I'm like... Ace puns. Ace puns forever.
God. I'm in hell.
Alright. Farewell,
I'm stopping the recording
everyone.
there.
Bye.
Bye. I blame Twitch.